One of Donald Trump's cabinet picks that hasn't received that much national attention so far is Scott Turner. So that is Donald Trump's pick to be Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, and that is a very important position. Has a budget each year of $72 billion, so a lot of money there. It's the department that provides rental assistance to 2 million families, oversees the country's 800,000 public housing units, and fights housing discrimination and segregation, as well as providing support to the nation's 650,000 unhoused individuals. So very important who is in charge there, what their priorities will be. And I understand why the media has been busy diving into a lot of other nominees. There's been some bad ones, I think we can all agree there. But when you dive into Turner, you find some potential warning signs about who he would be as the leader of HUD. So previously, he's supported bills that would ensure landlords could refuse apartments to applicants because they received federal housing assistance. So directly supporting the sort of discrimination that he should hopefully fight against as head of HUD. He opposed a bill to expand affordable rental housing. He voted against funding public-private partnerships to support the homeless. He voted against 2 bills that called merely to study homelessness among young people and veterans. And ProPublica, which has done a great deep dive into his past in these topics, says that behind these votes lay a deep-seated skepticism about the value of government efforts to alleviate poverty, a skepticism that he's voiced again and again. He has called welfare, quote, dangerous, harmful, and one of the most destructive things for the family. Apparently more destructive than poverty, I guess. When one interviewer said receiving government assistance was keeping recipients in bondage of a worse form to find oneself in than slavery, which is an interesting take. But anyway, now we know that the head of HUD, if they're not really down with the mission of HUD, they can be really damaging. We saw that under Ben Carson, who it turns out was actually one of the mentors to Turner. So not great necessarily, considering we have so many vital crises in our nation, specifically in this area around homelessness, about the price of rent, the price of homes and all that. It just, it would suck, Garrison, if the person in charge had no real interest in helping people. But what do you think?
It would suck. I think a lot of this is actually because of anti-blackness. I have a running theory that the worst things about this country are in large part because of racism against Black people and anti-Blackness that is deep-seated in this country's history and to this day. I mean, you think about the people that Trump has kind of chosen for different departments. I think about the Secretary of Education. A lot of what went into that choice, even with Betsy DeVos before, was kind of the crapification of the department itself. It was to destroy the department from within. And I think that this HUD pick, given what ProPublica has found, is kind of running along a similar line. The idea is to choose someone who is going to do a terrible job on purpose to destroy the effectiveness of the department on purpose. And I think much of that is built out of a hostility toward Black people and this longstanding belief that if Black people would just pull themselves up by their bootstraps, if they would just stop being poor, then you wouldn't have to be poor anymore. It doesn't make any sense in reality. And we know that these programs actually deal directly with child poverty and eliminating child poverty, making sure that children aren't out on the streets. And to get rid of it would be a real moral tragedy.
Yeah, I can't agree more. I mean, you've seen that strategy over especially the last 4 decades, trying to conflate any government assistance as just being a thing that's given to these undeserving minorities. And it's been so effective over the past few decades that many white conservatives will support cuts to programs they themselves rely on.
Exactly.
And so, yeah, we see people being chosen for all these different positions, seemingly specifically because they're uniquely positioned to undercut the mission. And so, as over the next 4 years, as we document the various failures in all these areas, they don't get to act like it's, oh no, look what happened. It is, as Garrison pointed out, kind of by design. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.